What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Beyond the Gray Media. Welcome in. Happy New Year. It is officially New Year's Day here, 2025. I can't even believe it. However you're doing, wherever you're at, however you found me, I hope that you had a wonderful holiday season. Welcome to the new year. You know, it's a trip. This channel's been, with the holidays, it's been a little bit like every other day, every couple of days. I'm going to do like a major channel update here, hopefully sometime this weekend. We're going to get right back into the swing of things, of giving you disturbing and great horror content. At least I hope so. I'm going to do my best, right? I've been typing up some scripts. I'm working behind the scenes. I've had people in town. It's just been super busy like everybody else. So wherever you're at, however you found me, appreciate you being here. Tonight, I want to get into a film that I was trying to find the right movie at the right time to show my nephew, and we'd watched Nosferatu, which I was super harsh with that review. I haven't been able to stop thinking about Nosferatu, just like Robert Eggers, like every other movie that he's done. It gets inside my bones a little bit, and I cannot wait to see that film again. I was way too harsh. I can get past the mustache, I swear to God, but that's not what we're here to talk about. But I have been thinking about Nosferatu around the clock. I've been listening to the soundtrack. I watched the old one again. I've been obsessing about why I was so harsh on that movie. So tonight I wanted to find the right movie for my nephew. We were doing a little bit of those horror's greatest, and we had done kind of some animal attack videos. And I was like, have you ever seen this movie from 2008? It's about these ancient, it's not pyramids, but it's the ruins, right? The Mayan, the Aztecs. And he said no. So I pulled this thing out and I was like, this is worthy of a review. I love this film. It doesn't get a lot of people talking about it, but if you know, if you've seen it. We're talking about The Ruins. Let's break it down. Thanks for being here. Hold up. Every year, over 2 million people internationally decide they need a break from the hustle and bustle of everyday life, and they venture out on vacation to expand their horizons. New year, new me, why not get a little culture and seek to explore the Mayan ruins of Mexico and dive headfirst into a little adventure? Nothing like some cervezas, sunshine, devil's lettuce, tequilas, tourists, and travel. Thus sets the stage and the table for The Ruins, and for this little body horror baddie from 2008, The Hangover is most definitely real. I'll admit, when I first heard of The Ruins, I didn't have the highest of expectations. A group of tourists explore the Mayan ruins and decide to take a detour only for things to go terribly wrong. On this vacation, the plants are at center stage. Plants? I mean, really? Plants? How good can it be? Lucky for me, I was super wrong. The Ruins follows a group of 4 American tourists on vacation that drink and party to excess in the blistering Mexican sun. These tourists embark on what seems like an idyllic adventure. Eager to explore the ancient Mayan ruins, they set out with a sense of excitement and curiosity. However, this carefree journey takes a dark turn when they encounter a mysterious and ominous vine that envelops the ruins of an archaeological dig site. As they delve deeper into the site, they discover that the ruins are not merely relics of the past, they are alive with an insidious presence. The malevolent plant begins to exert its influence, trapping them in a nightmarish struggle for survival. The group finds themselves not only battling the dangers of their environment, but also each other as paranoia and fear starts to unravel their friendships. Tension escalates as they grapple with the horrifying realization that the very nature they sought to admire is actually a predatory force, driving them to increasingly desperate measures. The Ruins is a brutal tale of dread and survival amidst the beauty of decay. You know, what works so well with a film like this is the relatability. A lot of us have taken a vacation and we didn't want to just hit up some hokey, backwoodsy tourist trap. We want to explore. We want to get the most bang for our buck and really find a great story worth retelling and remembering of those travels, something worth really writing home about. This film is chock full of tropes and cliches, but a lot of them are pretty damn relatable, to be honest with you. The overindulgence of food, sex, and adult beverages and libations, that usually leads to some poor decisions, which are the best kind, right? The stealing of tomorrow's happiness, it usually has a little bit of a hangover effect, which leads to arguments and the needs to cut corners. And then all of a sudden now you're doubling down and you're taking more risk and you're making mistakes that you probably wouldn't do if you would have got good quality sleep and had a healthy, balanced meal on vacation. But nobody fucking does that. Nobody. The couples in this film have similar reactions. They have these domestic issues that seem pretty familiar when you're trying to milk the last of a vacation. Of a vacation. Once The Ruins gets going, dude, it turns into one hell of a fun little horror flick. A couple accidentally steps into a pile of vines. Boom! Magically, we're being forced up the side of this site. Not magically, but by the actual firearm of these locals that quickly think like there's this paranoia. This thing cannot spread. You cannot bring this back to the fucking village. It quickly becomes apparent that this thing isn't fucking around. How threatening can plants and vines really be? Well, turns out pretty goddamn threatening. These plants are extremely they're predatory. If you can have a plant be a predator in a film and be like the centerpiece of the film, that's what The Ruins is. That's what this movie does so good. And it just like, at first it's very sly. It's very like, oh my God, if you get a cut or a band or something happens in your wound, you can tell that something's going to happen. It's got a little bit of The Thing vibes, a little bit of The Descent, a little bit of, I know there's The Sand that came out. That's a horrible film, but this is a mean-spirited film once it gets going. Nothing and nobody is safe. Child body armor? Nope. Get the fuck out of here. Dehydration, sunburns, headshots, and plants literally taking root all inside of your body, just running amok, running afoul inside every crevice. Check. That's what this film has going for it. That's what works. When you talk about The Ruins, I think the number one thing that you think about is the body horror and the gore in this film, which is actually pretty damn refreshing. The plants literally try to consume you from the inside out, and you'll do anything you can to remove them. Slowly but surely, everyone gets a piece of plant or some sort of infection, broken legs, shards of glass, broken bones, backs, and of course, we need to remove them. We need to take turns caring for the wounded in this film. There's minor operations with a rusty knife, self-mutilation, even the sawing of some limbs, and then just like using these heated rocks to break body parts apart. Everything is shown in pretty graphic detail. Before something like, I don't know, The Green Inferno, this is a big studio film, and this actually has quite a bit of gore, especially the unrated version. It's pretty decent. The graphic detail, if it wasn't for that graphic detail, this would almost become a parody because the plants themselves are not that intimidating. Now, if you get enough of them together and they start making fun of you, it does kind of mess with you. But when you can see them inside of your body and you can see them like twitch and come out of your eyeball, coming out of your forehead, coming out of the side of your back, and you'll take anything you can to just like dig at your skin and try to pull these things from the inside out before they take root, before any sort of infection sets in. It gives like a brevity, and it raises the stakes in this film, and it makes it a lot more serious. And yeah, it would become a parody, I think, otherwise. When you have plants squeaking and squealing and sounding like cell phones, you need something solid. You need some gore just to keep you invested, right? And that's what works. I'm not saying it's going to be too much for most horror fans, especially seasoned gore whores out there. But there's something, relatively unnerving watching people dig and tear at their skin to try to pull up the roots of these damn things. It's almost constant once this thing gets going. There's this level of claustrophobia that isn't as intense as something like The Descent, but it is very effective, it's very original, and it's a hell of a lot of fun, man. That scene where the two girls go down into the, down into the little tunnel or like the cave or whatever, and they're searching for the cell phone in that dig, and they find the cracked cell phone and the remains, only to find the different skeletons, and all the plants down there are just fucking with them. They're mimicking the cell phone. It's like the thing's just twitching and like tweetering right there, and then all of a sudden they're just being trapped and enveloped by these plants. That is one hell of a scene. Killer scene, man. Equally intense is, yet again, the limb removal, the hunting knife. It's awesome when the vines decide to devour up the severed limbs when, they're just kind of hanging out. Somebody dies, the plants are quickly to feast. It's feast or famine in this film. You either get a little bit or you get a lot, and everything happens so quickly that the survival rate, it makes it a lot of fun. Like, it's what would you do? Oh, man, it's killer, dude. I'm telling you. The last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to get out of here, is that sometimes I think that a film like The Ruins, this really benefits from a lack of backstory and not over-explaining itself. The vines are just these carnivorous veggies that envelop these ruins, and somehow they have survived. The natives and everyone that's around there knows that. The birds and the insects, the animals and the horses, all you know about it is that they've learned not to land there. They know that it's nature and they can't let it spread. And I think if you have this crazy backstory and we knew why the vines are this way and how can they mimic, why are they making fun of me, that would be really really, I just feel like it would take away from this film. So I think that actually gives it quite a bit of like, I don't know, man, it makes it work for me. I hope that people like The Ruins. I think if you haven't seen it and you're like, how scary can plants be? Maybe give this thing a chance, because when you're watching that chick trying to dig those roots out, you can see them like, it's intense, man. I think it's so good. That's all for me. If you want to see more from me, please like, comment, subscribe, follow me on social media. And then, yeah, this weekend we're going to get into some more stuff. I've got some new inspiration. I'm super stoked to be coming back full force. No more holidays, no more time off. Let's just get back right into the swing of things, guys. Thanks so much for being here. I'm so happy to have you. Take care of yourselves. Love you, and we will see you very soon. Cheers.